Hello and welcome back to Step Out the Showdown. It's me, Gonzo again, and this time I got Jake joining me, fresh off like us commentating his game. He's decided to join and help me commentate the next one and actually host the next one, the one after that without me. So, hello, Jake. How are you feeling today?
Hello, I'm good, good.
Hmm.
Looking forward to getting some of these games down.
It's exciting stuff. We are going to see some Belo Betty into Koby gameplay, which I don't think it's something we've seen that often before, but it's definitely not one of the easiest matchups for Belo Betty.
Although
It's
this will be slightly different now because I'm assuming we'll be having the Kobe promo in this.
That is true. I'm not sure it's
I haven't
already.
checked the checklist yet, so don't quote me on that yet.
It's not there quite yet. I know that Brem hasn't been able to source them, and it's going to be hunting for them this week non-stop. So this is going to be like the classic OP11 version yet, and I guess we're going to transition to the promo with OP12. But yeah, good to go. Brem is obviously playing Kobe to the surprise of nobody, pretty much. And we got CJ on Betty, which is, I guess it's a respectable choice right now on the meta, but we'll see how that fares.
Well, it's a good choice. I'm not sure about respectable.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely a wise one, maybe not a likable one.
And he's actually got an interesting list for Betty. Well, I say interesting. The tech cards are slightly different compared to other lists. I'm wondering if they will come up in this game.
Yeah, we're seeing the big boys here rather than the usual removal pack. So it's one of the, I guess, one of the older lists, right? Like we did see Dragon pop up quite a bit early on for some of the matchups, like maybe getting some pitch advantage with Russia and whatnot, but it's not been present very often before.
To be fair, I still always quite like it into the occasional buggies you play.
Yeah, no, that's actually very true. That does help put the pressure on even more, and skips pretty much everything, and it's not easy to swing into either. I guess if you have the buggy, sure, but otherwise, yeah. Okay. I'm assuming that Brem won the die roll, right? Because he gets to go second here, which is going to be what they're both fight
Both
for.
decks want to be fighting for.
Yeah, and that's mostly because like the three Dunton for Betty is somewhat underwhelming, right? Like your plays on three are basically a blocker and Morley, and not all the lists even run many Morleys. It's kind of a tech choice as well. So
CJ
going second
is
helps.
very, very naughty though. He did find
Mm.
his one-off stage in his opening hand,
You
which
know,
is
that's what you
lovely.
get. Maybe I should be playing one stage in Ryu just to guarantee this happens more often. Um,
They always say the one-offs are the best.
yeah, definitely somewhat increases the chances of seeing them for no reason whatsoever, but that's fair. And Brem is basically doing the right kind of curve, right? Like we start with Searcher, follow up with Kusan to fill up trash, and now if we have an Mepo, that I'm really hoping we do have plenty of choice to get through. Um, Thanks to that Kusan attacking and being very nice.
This
Uh,
is not a 5 cost of Ank off of the Betty curve here, which who knows whether that'll be a good thing or a bad thing in the end. If they manage to fill up their board
yeah,
nicely with small costs, maybe having lots of small costs could be more beneficial. Well, whilst Kobe does have access to attacking active characters, it
yeah,
is always just a great value piece to see on curve.
yeah. It does help because it doesn't really make you spend any of your hand size. So then swinging into characters doesn't pressure you as much. And I feel like that's what exactly what Kobe is going to be doing. Like it doesn't really need to be heavily going at face, and as long as we can go forward, that's good. Karasu, that's not
Still
great.
great.
Like I guess it
Not
could be a lot worse, but it could be a lot better. And now we
it's not the standard Betty Ivankov character,
no,
that's
definitely
for
not.
sure.
And we are gonna be able to swing at it somewhat harshly if we have
Especially with
a
that,
Nepo Kobe play. Are we
yeah.
gonna see it now?
Especially with this Kuzan on board, being able to cause some damage.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
gonna allow.
even offering lines up, letting the Branu swing into the belly as well. Who knows?
There's the Koby. Oh no, that's Hibari. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have Koby? We do. Yeah, from early on.
So this is going to be two active characters which are going to get swung into this turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, Elmepo will. Koby will probably let Elmepo attack actives, and then Kusan will make Koby attack actives, or the other way around. Kind of depends on how we want to go about the sequencing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And there could be some odd sequencing depending on playing around triggers.
Now
Oh,
Kusan goes face, making Koby attack actives.
but
We don't counter this, do we? Oof, we kind of might need to if we don't have a 2K because we're gonna eat 5 and 6 at live.
I mean, he could take it because he's going to be getting. Hmm, no,
Extra card. Yeah. That's
the
going to
trigger here would
Karasu.
have helped him a lot. However,
100%.
he also may have been trying to dig for the counter to try and maybe protect the Karasu.
Yeah, but I don't think you can realistically protect it off that, right? Like even if we do, we drop 3 cats now,
I
then we
think the
don't
only
really
thing
have a
is
play.
if it means he loses his entire board here, which is not happy position for Betty.
Yeah. Away goes Kobe. Oh, this is looking rough for Betty. I feel like this is Kobe doing exactly what he wants to be doing in the matchup. We are playing on curve. We're getting that Helmepo and Kusan value. And now CJ has to make decisions because we do kind of want to get rid of that Kusan, don't we? Otherwise, it's gonna make.
Betty is not going to be able to stick any board realistically here with that Kuzan being played on forward on,
Mhm. Yeah, 100%.
especially if there's another follow up Helmepo.
Okay, we are very wisely getting rid of that koala because I don't feel like we want to give Kobe the choice to remove koala and then just go face and kill us. What can we do here from the Kobe's perspective? From the Betty's perspective?
We know CJ did add the 5 cost of Vankov to hand last turn. It's probably going to be the easiest way to try and build up some kind of board back up. However,
Yeah,
you are still going to be 2 cards, 2 life, and in this odd situation of not wanting just to die outright.
yeah. If we have a Karasu that can reduce the Kusen down to 4 and we can swing 7 into the Kusen.
Lindbergh is very good in this matchup because of a lot of these small bits Kobe does play.
Yeah, that is true, but not at this time, right? Like we're not getting enough value off of it right now. And now we swing at the Kusen. Yeah, if we have 2Ks, we definitely give them.
However, it does kind of, unless the Lindbergh is going to get cleared, it does sort of stop Bremer from lockering up with the last season's MVP Ripper.
What do you mean Reaper? I haven't seen any proxies in there. There cannot be any Reapers, I'm sure. Um, yeah, no, you're absolutely right with that. Like it's basically demanding that it's gonna be removed, right? But that's what Kusan's gonna be doing now, and we cannot afford to not counter the hit at the swing at life either. It's just a very awkward situation right now for Betty because you are genuinely in a lethal situation. Like even if that Kusan was something else, it's it's somewhat easy to go for life. Although I guess 5 cards in hand or so, so maybe we're good to go there. Looking for another Amepo. And if we find a Hibari that can
Oh,
Okay, cool.
there it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we can peacock that El Mepo app, probably. Right? We play a second El Mepo. That will be replacing the Hibari. Hmm. So we're gonna give up brand new. That is interesting. Okay, so sorry, hear me out. I'm kind of thinking out loud, right? But basically, Kusan will allow the new El Mepo to swing at an active character, but needs to go at life. That will provide a Hibari that it will allow Koby to swing into active. So basically, one Mepo and Koby get to swing into active, or the Hibari itself. Kusan
I'm kind of
makes
surprised we didn't see the Kujaku being used first before this, but he kept the Bremner on field.
yeah. Yeah, I think like even you could have buffed the Branu and pumped it. You know, yeah. No, Hibari gets to attack active while
Even
giving the native handcuff.
Bremner is just an extra swing into a one cost on the following turn, potentially. Or when it gets to these low hand size games, 3K is actually a very good stat line.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Bremner is agreeing with us, and he probably should have got rid of that Peacock to buff Kusan instead. Yeah. I actually like don't hate buffing even the brand new because you get to go 5 Kusan, 5 leader, 5 brand new at life with that El Mepo standing, which is very demanding of counter too. Well, I think Kusan was just a bit better.
Jack is asking if Koby gets anything at OP12. And I don't believe so because all of red is going to Rayleigh and all of black is going to Koala. And I think only really generically good cards out of that maybe be.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Robin blocker, but I think actually that's leader locked to.
Yeah, it is either Luffy or Revolutionary Army. I think.
I guess
So not
not.
even Straw Hat. It's super restricted.
Which is good because it is a very strong card.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I think we're gonna get to see some really interesting interaction with her too fairly soon. Mm. I I feel like we probably should have gone um for Lindbergh over
That's what
Ivankov this turn.
my gut instinct is saying without knowing, especially if he was going to be playing the Ripper. Yeah, then the Lindbergh should have been
Yeah.
in prioritized.
Yeah, now it's fairly
Now
awkward.
this is actually kind of. I guess it depends how much counter we have in hand as Koby here.
Yeah, but like this is basically a lethaling spot for Betty. So
Yeah,
we are given a window where
which you
we
don't.
could steal the game altogether. Like a part of me even thinks that we go for Limburg, we hit Hibari on Limburg, and if they give us 1k more counter, we swing at Limburg again with leader, so that's gonna die. And if they don't, we swing with leader at the searcher and just guarantee that we're not gonna die when we have a fairly insane board in play for the turn after. Hmm. Okay. Okay, that is somewhat scary. Do we also have a Karasu on board for CJ? Because that could be pretty much GG.
Although Karasu is only paying forward on reduce sort of one
1k. Yeah, but one per swing, right? So we will be
Yeah,
getting, if we're swinging 5 times, uh, we would be getting a lot of value off of it. Like if it's just gonna make plus 1k, I guess. Uh, because we have seen the rusher, right? So we get to play the rusher now, buff the rusher, Limburg, and the searcher that can attack, and that means we have
yeah,
five
that is
swings.
true, which would make it worth.
So we would just slightly make it better. That is going to be kind of interesting. Assuming we do not have the Karasu, we need to start
He's
with
kind of
Limburg.
he's posturing freed on to the side there, almost as if suggesting that if Vankov may be played and a push for life is going to be attempted. Which, to be fair, I don't. It does look like a very dire situation for Becky to survive the clapback of this.
Yeah, that's it's gonna happen. I don't think. We need to connect 3 hits out of the 5. Right, so if we spread
Versus
this,
5 cards in hand. I think
yeah,
it's
into life. And the most even spread we can do is we play the rusher, and we have a 5k, 5k, 6k, 8k, 7k, 5k, plus 5 remaining done. So we get to go 7, 7, 7, 7, 8. That's very, that's a very little odds actually.
not the best, no. Unless you, because of the leader being reduced down to a 4 cost if you a play the Karasu.
It's also annoying that you kind of need to start with the 8k swing.
Yes, that is a huge swing to be going.
Because maybe you can turn Eva into a 9 and just respread a bit to start with a
I guess
7.
the other option could have been just to uh, attach 2 Don onto Lindbergh rather than leader powering Lindbergh so that you're not wasting 1k there. And then using the leader power on Betty, Ivankov, and uh, Eva, Inazuma even.
Yeah, but then that basically means that you need to go 1-5, right? Uh, oh,
It was interesting to take this 7k swing here and not just rip a
it's,
block it.
yeah, I feel like that was Reaper's chance to shine. But I think it's fine anyways. Like even if we buff this
Unless
up now,
from his hand is just full of counter, so he is egging it on.
yeah. Okay. I don't hate this kind of split, right? Where you do get to go 3 times higher now, swinging with that Limburg. Uh, 3 9s, isn't it?
It's a good point. I did forget about the uh, leader power of Koby here.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. We are
That
completely
is something
missing this, but yeah, no, that's
we had overlooked.
definitely. Yeah, that's an immortal one. Okay, so then we're just gonna go for it. Now I do like the split from CJ though. Like that does help a lot. It's basically going 7 9 9 9 instead of one more swing. So now he needs to get rid of one of the nines, which is probably
Probably doable.
yeah. Yeah, I guess Limburg is not that important in this matchup actually. Remembering
No,
Kobe leader
but
ability.
that is a very key thing of this matchup, which we got.
Yeah, yeah. I keep thinking I'm not gonna KO anything from Kobe because nobody's KOing stuff. But yeah, no, that's definitely true. One card in hand. Yeah. 7, no trigger. Handbrake. It's just gonna be cautious and do a mathy 9, right? And just slamming everything.
Yeah,
Fair
not
enough.
even a Karasu trigger could have saved there.
No, this was kind of a get it or get done with it situation from the Betis perspective, and I feel like this was a very rough matchup. I don't think Betty can really win this game if it doesn't win this game before Bremner, like before Kobe reaches a done. If
I
we
would be
see,
interested to see what this matchup looks like on the other curve because
mhm. Yeah,
both
that's
decks do really love that second curve here.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
DJ did miss some important pieces, like he did hard play he didn't play it the 5 cost Vancouver on 5, and he did have to play the Karasu instead of like a 4 cost Vancouver into 4 cost Karasu, which would have been a much scarier threat.
yeah, that's definitely true. But I do feel like we were quite comfortable on Kobe's plays this game altogether. So it might be down to die roll quite a bit more. We're gonna see more struggle going forward, right? But Kusan makes things very miserable. Hibari makes things complicated, and El Maple makes things complicated as well, right? Like basically, Bremner is exploiting Kobe to the best on this matchup because you do get to protect from the random chaos on your champ blocker. So effectively, those Kumas and Limbergs are useless, and then you get to keep using your leader ability and the whole setup of the deck to keep attacking actives, which is exactly the opposite of what Betty needs, right? The only thing Betty's actually missing are decent quality rushers early on, which means that if Kobe is able to remove one of the bodies you play every time, you're gonna struggle. There might be something else to do though. Like if we were to see that play with Ivankov and Karasu, which one do you think you would prioritize from the Kobe perspective here to get rid of?
So I think Havoya was talking about this on our Discord server the other day. It kind of does matter a lot of what counter you have in hand, how many swings your opponent has available. If you're able to reduce the number of swings down, or there's not many searches out, then getting rid of Ivankov could be more favorable. But if there is a lot of things which can take advantage of that minus power onto leader, then the Karasu has to go.
Yeah,
Because in some ways, you don't actually mind Betty regurgitating their hand out very quickly because they can gas out quite quickly, especially being a Kobe player who can attack into active characters rather and starving their opponent
yeah,
could be very deadly.
yeah. I guess the question is more around like Ivankov basically allows them to increase board size by one at the expense of hand size if we assume they cannot block the hits, right? Like which is normal in this scenario because we do have big hitters in this post, right? Like Kobe is gonna swing a 9 into something standing if we have an Mepo. So even on 5 down and we know an Mepo's coming, right? We are probably not gonna defend anything attacking into active, regardless. So is it worth prioritizing the Ivankov over the Karasu in that spot when we just have like Searcher, Karasu, Ivankov? Is kind of the question. I wonder if Kobe wants to get rid of Ivankov a bit more just to make sure you get to like control the flow of the game from the sixth
Yeah,
and tenth.
nice.
But I don't know. It's fun. I I think the principles are the same. It might just be like the threshold where you want to get rid of Ivankov instead of Karsu. It's a bit different with Koby.
I think there is always a shout of what counter you have in hand. If you have a lot of small counter to block some of that, you maybe would not mind the Karasu bit staying up as much.
Yeah. Speaking of counter, that's what we're picking. Specifically, the loved and hated Prince
Was
Crew.
that
Prince
was that
Crew is that
not
the name?
Borsellino blocker? What
Oh,
was
it was
that?
Marcelino Blocker. I thought it was the Prince. Then we're prioritizing. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a good card to be having here.
Shame he did not have that on curve because I feel like on curve Borsellino blocker is very strong for Kobe. Yeah, just clearing that immediately from the get go, clearing that board, and then just creating a body for which Betty kind of has to deal with, which ultimately protects your life.
Ooh, now that's fun. Like we clearly want to see that at Mepo, but depending on whether we have them already or not, we might want to swap things around a bit.
Guess it depends if he's got a 4 or 5 drop here. It looks like he probably doesn't have a 4 or 5 drop. He's taking the Kuzan.
Yeah.
Also does kind of force um, DJ into not being able to swing with Kuma here as well.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Like now, if we were to do the usual play with an Ivankov, it would basically mean we cannot swing with Kuma, or we start getting double swung at, which is definitely not where we want to be, right? Because we could go like 5 into Kuma, followed by 4 into the searcher, and that's ugh, not great. And even if you block that one, then you get a 5 into your 4. So would definitely just drain all of the resources early on. Huh. I'm not sure I love countering that swing actually. I feel like we might want to be a bit greedier, but we don't have that much board size, I guess. So 1k swings are easier.
Yeah, it's a. I guess also you can potentially take the chance of, or you agree for the counter so you can protect the board on the clapback, and also there is always that chance that it is a trigger. Um,
Yeah.
I think we are on the 2 extra Morleys, so there are the extra chances to see a trigger off of that.
Okay, that justifies the counter, and we
That
definitely don't
does
want to get
justify the
one less.
counter.
Mm-hmm. That is a tiny bit more fun. I'm hoping we still have the Almepo though. Huh.
Now this is going to be a very annoying turn to deal with, having that Karasu demand a lot of 2Ks.
And that's just it in the Reaper, I think.
Yeah. The koala here could actually be quite annoying in getting uh, a very nice word of it game free block.
Yes, but right, like I feel like the best play we probably can do now is Almepo into Hibari, lowering that free block capability.
That would be very nice.
Right, that basically means Kusan gets to make the Hibari be able to swing into active, which would be swinging into the Karasu for an EC7, right? Followed by Leader being
We
able
are
to
going to see
swing.
the Koby here, which I don't hate the Koby.
No, that's okay.
Koby can provide a little bit more. Although Hibari does provide more in order to clear the board, the Koby does always boost that lead up about 1 extra K, which can be very crucial when your lead is getting reduced by 1K by Karasu.
Definitely. That's gonna go straight into the Karasu, I assume.
Standing, do you think?
It's a bit more fun though, because I could see an argument of going into Koala as well. Might be going to Koala, that's 2Ks.
Could be. Getting rid of a koala would be nice, however, it isn't. It obviously does allow 2 card clear rather than a 2 card counter rather than a 3 card counter.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be probably a 5.
Now, I think maybe we could have greeted with the koala block there. And that 5K. Unless they're trying to save it to protect this Karasu when an active swing. But, yeah. This feels like a very good position for CJ.
Yeah, I feel like with this I did like going into the Karasu a bit more just because it would force the block on Koala rather than the
Yeah,
other way around.
uh, I do think that's correct.
Because now,
What I've
like,
found
it's
with Betty is they seem to always never have a shortage of 2Ks in their hand.
no, and that's gonna be another 2K. Oh, and we get some intermission.
Very curious behind the lore of that.
Oh, we are out of 2Ks. All right,
Did manage to get that koala at the end there, which does seem to claw it back somewhat.
it does. I feel like right now if we do have a Karasu, sorry, a Karasu, Inazuma from the Betis position, we might take the game with us. Be much on the spot. Means we got 5K, 7K, 8K into a 4K leader. And we need to connect 3 out of the
Does
4
look like we're
strings.
posturing for that in Azuma. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess with our perfect knowledge of the deck list as well, there is a potential angle that a Rush Dragon could be quite annoying here. Rush Dragon with leader power.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that means 5, 7, 8, 12.
Not
Into a
ideal, but
4K. Yeah, no, it could
it still is
do it.
not very nice.
Be quite enough. Um, Taking a different look at it, Sabos are not gonna do the trick. Or more leap. Yeah, no, I feel like Inazuma might be a bit better.
I feel like Inazuma Maths is better, but I was just wondering, not being able to counter out that koala, what bricks potentially CJ would have in hand. looking at the deck list, Dragon would be one of them.
Yeah, but also I'm not sure you give two 1Ks for that. And without being able to use leader ability, even with that koala on board, it's
Oh,
extremely unlikely. There we go.
do you see the Dragon?
So no leader ability this turn, fair enough. We're going for
Oh,
board.
go.
92 6. All
It
right.
is a very good outcome, actually.
Yeah, but we are very exposed right now. If there
Yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
Hibari or a Helmepo, we're
another
basically
Helmeppo
toast.
could easily. That is the strength of Koby. Always
Mhm.
able to take great advantage of rested characters
Yeah,
in a
and we
heartbeat.
haven't and we haven't progressed into the life pressure either. So if those two bodies get removed, we are kind of in an unwinnable spot.
Especially with only two in hand. This feels up. There's the Helmeppo.
Yeah. I
Two
think
in
here,
hand, and this is going to be very hard to defend the
yeah,
board.
that brings Kobe back. Let's.
Baven.
Mhm.
Oh, Rhino being used to very good effect there. So,
Okay, that's buffing up to 6, so it's gonna be 2 9s into the dragon. I like that because even if we have two 1Ks there, that basically means
we'll have to top deck in a Zuma
Inazuma. Yeah,
or the second dragon, I guess.
yeah. And Kobe is a 6K as well, so we do get some sort of protection.
Did choose to go into life there instead of and play the blocker instead.
Yeah, I feel like maybe in that spot we just like instead swing 12 into the 9. And
I'd have preferred either taking the 9/9 or just the 12 there.
yeah,
Completely clear the body, being able to be on two life still. I guess it does depend a lot on what Bremner's follow up plays in hand are.
yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think we had the need to get rid of that life, but it's tricky. What are we seeing? Inazuma maybe coming from CJ off the top? Or Karasu? Yeah, but it's a bit unfortunate because that dragon was the card we really wanted to remove the previous turn.
Yeah,
I actually didn't hate going like 9 into the dragon, then 6 into the Karasu, and then attaching the 3 down to go at 10 with Almepo if we needed either.
because that
But
way
I
we
think,
are taking out both the hand and probably the board.
yeah. Or just having Kobe buff itself to guarantee killing the dragon, and that way you kind
I
of
think
have.
that would have been my gut play. Is would have been the 12 into dragon.
Mhm.
If it drops to double 2k on that, then that I would not be mind at all.
Yeah, but if you buff Kobe, you can go 13, right?
That is
Kobe
true. Right,
is
the
Kobe's a 9, so if
+1
you
is
buy it
very low.
itself, yeah, you do get to guarantee the kill on that after you've done the other
Does
shenanigans.
seem to just be the overall safer play.
Mhm.
But getting a blocker off of this Vankov here does make the game state quite interesting now.
Yeah, that's making it slightly awkward. He has 3 cards in hand for Brem. Ooh, 2k, 1k. Yeah.
Was into the Helmepper.
Yeah, that was trying to wipe the helmet, but because otherwise the lethal is kind of all but guaranteed. And that's gonna hit the blocker. If it's alive, we're taking the life. If it's not, just
We did a blocker. Potential.
yeah. And 2 cards in hand again with 1 life.
Depending on how much counter that he has used this game, could be a risky all-in angle. Do you know Koby has many ways potentially of dealing with that blocker?
It does. It does have a bunch of ways. I think you might start with a 7. Right, I don't hate the possibility of going 799. I think it's fairly likely on lethal, especially because we do know that he didn't have 2Ks couple turns back, right?
Even if they do give you the 2k, 1k off of the initial
Yeah.
7.
Okay, that's fair enough. Split wise, it's more likely.
How much bomb was that attached there?
4, I think. So that's a 7.
I mean, this
Ooh,
oh fuck. That does prevent. Actually, I don't think
that
so.
is clutch.
I think that just dooms it. Maybe seeing a ripper just fend here. But
Okay. I
I bet
mean,
he does just need to see
Rusher.
one extra swing here.
I mean,
And but it's very good mass.
yes, but also, right? Like we could have 2K, 1, 2K, 2K, 1K on top. We basically need an Inazuma here.
Yeah. Inazuma leader power swings 7.
Yeah.
You immediately have 7-9 with Inazuma, Ivankov with 7 Don left. You can get
Mhm.
a guaranteed lethal number on that.
Dragon is not guaranteed though,
Oh,
right?
it's not actually.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, you
It'd
can
be
go.
7-9, 11 would be the next.
Yeah,
If you
I think.
play 2 Don, have 5 left.
Yeah, no, but I do believe every rusher guarantees lethal here.
Actually, I always forget that Betty can actually boost Dragon.
Yep, he's a revolutionary. It's tricky.
But I do feel if we had the Inazuma here, it would be a pretty quick play.
Yep.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, we kind of got a take, right?
Yeah, I think Koby doesn't actually. Well, this particular list of Koby doesn't actually run any game-changing triggers here.
No, it does not. And you gotta take not to lose your maple. Yeah.
It's a dragon.
That's KO number 1. Are we gonna
Double,
double KO?
double Kuma, double was Zeus, or
Well, Swiss wouldn't work, right? No life.
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the block. That's the game. Wow. I do feel, however, like wiping that dragon would have made our life a lot easier on the Kobe side, but it is always a bit tricky.
I think wiping the dragon would have just get secured the game 100% there. Um,
No, well, we
you
got it.
you
We got it.
but it did get there in the end.
Brem is such a gentle opponent. He's never going overkill with the Math Lethal. He does know what's going on there, so that's very chivalrous of you.
Is it gentle or is it BM?
I don't know. It might just be getting scared, but it's still, I do appreciate it. It's good to show that you know the math until you mess up, and then we're probably gonna have to criticize you on stream. But this time round, really well done. Interesting matchup, interesting game, and yeah, definitely loved it. What did you think of it today, Jake? Do you
That
reckon this is
was.
gonna be better or worse than your next game?
I don't actually have any spoilers of what the next matchup is, so it is hard to comment from that point of view. But that certainly is a matchup I was curious about, especially because I know certainly within the London uh, locals at the moment, there has been a lot of Kobe rumors going around with the now added circulation of the promos involved, and it is something I'm very much expecting to appear in our final OP11 regionals on Saturday. So, and this was one of the matchups I was curious how Kobe done into, and because on paper you do see Kobe's very good at clearing board. It should be good versus Betty. However, there is always that Betty high roll of just wiping out a 4 life leader off the map.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of a game of chicken of a matchup. It does feel like you do need to thread the needle really, really well.
Especially in that
Um,
first game we had, where both players were sort of bouncing on that 2 life kind of risky state. But in the end, Kobe did do what it's intended to do, and that was just clear the board